Major approaches to the study of personality. Trait approaches. What distinguishes leader from followers? Or what personality traits they possess? The trait perspective of personality is centered on identifying, describing, and measuring the specific traits that make up human personality. By understanding these traits, researchers believe they can better comprehend the differences between individuals. The trait theory of personality suggests that people have certain basic traits, and it is the strength and intensity of those traits that account for personality differences. Before going to the details, please remember to subscribe this channel if you are new here. Do watch other videos in this channel. Share it with students and those who love learning psychology. Thank you. Major approaches to the study of personality. In the previous video, we learned about the type approaches. Now let's see the trait approach in detail. Trait approaches. A trait is a personality characteristic that meets three criteria. It must be consistent, stable, and vary from person to person. Based on this definition, a trait can be thought of as a relatively stable characteristic that causes individuals to behave in certain ways. The combination and interaction of various traits form a personality that is unique to each person. Trait theory is focused on identifying and measuring these individual personality characteristics. The way psychologists have thought about personality, including how they define traits, have evolved over time. Trait theory is one of the most popular types of personality theories. It proposes that people's personality vary according to which basic personality traits are more dominant. This approach assumes behavior is determined by relatively stable traits, which are the fundamental units of one's personality. Traits predispose one to act in a certain way, regardless of the situation. This means that traits should remain consistent across situations and over time, but it varies between individuals. It is presumed that individuals differ in their traits due to genetic differences. These theories are sometimes referred to as psychometric theories because of their emphasis on measuring the personality by using psychometric tests. The trait scores are continuous variables. A person is given a numeric score to indicate how much of a trait they possess. Trait theories of personality. There are four trait theories of personality. Alport's trait theory, Cattell's 16-factor personality model, Eysenck's 3-dimensional model, and the 5-factor model of personality. Let's see each of this in detail. First one, Alport's trait theory. It is also known as the trait theory of leadership. The trait approach is attributed to Gordon Allport, one of the pioneers of personality physiology. Back in 1930s, he compiled a list of 4,500 personality traits. According to Allport, a trait can be defined as a relatively stable and enduring characteristic that influences an individual's behavior, thoughts, and feelings across different situations. He grouped them into three categories: cardinal traits, central traits, and secondary traits. The cardinal traits. These are dominant traits that shape an individual's behavior and personality to a significant extent. Cardinal traits are rare and often define a person's entire life. They tend to define a person to such an extent that their names become synonymous with their personality. Examples of this include the following descriptive terms like narcissist, Don Juan, and Christ-like. For example, Mother Teresa was known for her cardinal trait of selflessness. Then central traits. These are general characteristics that form the foundation of an individual's personality. They influence behavior and play a key role in establishing the basic identity of a person. While central traits are not so dominating as the cardinal traits, they describe the major characteristics you might use to describe another person. The descriptions such as intelligent, honest, shy, and anxious are considered central traits. Then secondary traits. These are the traits that are more specific and less dominant than the central traits. They are situation specific and may not be evident in all contexts. Secondary traits are sometimes related to attitudes or preferences. They often appear only in certain situations or under specific circumstances. For example, a person may have a secondary trait of being talkative during social gatherings, but reserved in professional settings. Cattell's 16-factor personality model. Trait theorist Raymond Cattell reduced the number of main personality traits from Alport's initial list of over 5,000 down to 171. He did so primarily by eliminating uncommon traits and then combining common characteristics. Then Cattell rated a large sample of individuals for these 171 different traits. Using a statistical technique known as factor analysis, he identified closely related terms and eventually reduced his list to a 16 key personality traits. Cattell's 16-factor personality model. It is also known as the 16 personality factor 16PF. Here are the 16 factors identified in the Cattell 16PF model. Warmth, reasoning, emotional stability, dominance, liveliness, role consciousness, social boldness, sensitivity, vigilance, abstractedness, privateness, apprehension, openness to change, self-reliance, perfectionism, and tension. Each factor represents a particular aspect of personality. For example, the first one, warmth, it refers to a person's friendliness and openness to others, while the emotional stability, it reflects their level of emotional resilience and stability. Then dominance, it relates to assertiveness and the desire for control. Then sensitivity indicates the degree of emotional sensitivity and empathy. Eysenck's three-dimensional model. British psychologist Hans Eysenck developed a model of personality based on just three universal traits. The three dimensions of personality, also known as the Penn model. First one, introversion versus extraversion. The introversion involves directing attention to inner experiences, while extraversion relates to focusing attention outward, that is, onto other people and the environment. A person high in introversion might be quiet and reserved, while an individual high in extraversion might be sociable and outgoing. Extraversion is characterized by the extent to which a person seeks social interaction, excitement, and stimulation from the external environment. Then, neuroticism versus emotional stability. This dimensions of Eysenck's trait theory is related to moodiness versus even-temperedness. Neuroticism refers to the tendency of an individual to experience negative emotions such as anxiety, depression, mood swings, and emotional instability. People high in neuroticism are more prone to experiencing emotional distress and are often more sensitive to stresses. On the other hand, individuals low in neuroticism tends to be emotionally stable, calm, and less reactive to the stressful situations. Next is psychoticism. After studying the individual suffering from mental illness, Eysenck added a personality dimension he called psychoticism to his trait theory. Individuals who are high on this trait tend to have difficulty dealing with reality and may be antisocial, hostile, non-empathetic, and manipulative. Psychoticism represents the degree to which an individual exhibits traits related to tough-mindedness, aggressiveness, etc. People high in psychoticism may display behaviors such as being cold and impulsive. Eysenck believed that these three dimensions of personality were biologically based and had a strong genetic component. The five-factor model of personality. Both Cattell and Eysenck's theories have been the subject of considerable research. This has led some theorists to believe that Cattell's focused on too many traits, while Eysenck focused on too few. As a result, a new trait theory, often referred to as the Big Five theory, emerged. This five-factor model of personality represents five core traits that interact to form human personality. The five factors of the five-factor model are: first one, openness to experience. This factor measures a person's openness, curiosity, and receptiveness to new ideas, experiences, and values. Individuals high in openness tend to be imaginative, creative, intellectually curious, and open-minded. Those low in openness are typically more conventional, practical, and prefer familiarity. Second is conscientiousness. The conscientiousness refers to the degree of organization, responsibility, dependability, and self-discipline that an individual displays. People high in conscientiousness are often diligent, reliable, organized, and goal-oriented. And people who are low in conscientiousness may be more impulsive, spontaneous, and less focused on long-term planning. Extraversion. It represents the extent to which a person seeks social interaction, stimulation, and derives energy from being around others. Individuals high in extraversion are outgoing, assertive, sociable, and enjoy being in the company of others. Those low in extraversion are introverts. They tend to be more reserved, quiet, and prefer solitude or smaller social settings. Then agreeableness. It reflects a person's tendency to be cooperative, compassionate, trusting, and considerate of others. Individuals high in agreeableness are typically warm, empathetic, kind, and value harmony in relationships. Those low in agreeableness may be more competitive, skeptical, and less concerned with maintaining social harmony. Then finally, neuroticism, sometimes reversed and referred to as emotional stability. Neuroticism measures the degree to which an individual experiences the negative emotions such as the anxiety, depression, irritability, and moodiness. People high in neuroticism tend to be more prone to emotional instability and experience higher level of negative mood. Those low in neuroticism or high in emotional stability, they tend to be more emotionally resilient, calm, and even-tempered. The big five traits are believed to capture the most significant and universal dimensions of human personality. They have been extensively studied and are considered relatively stable across different cultures and age groups. The model provides a valuable framework for understanding individual differences, predicting behavior, and exploring various aspects of personality in research, counseling, and organizational settings. So, in this video, we have learned the second approach in the major approaches to the study of personality, that is the triad approaches. In that we have learned 4 theories: Alport's triad theory, Catel's 16-factor personality model, Eysenck's 3-dimensional model, and the 5-factor model of personality. Hope you liked this video. Please share and subscribe. Thank you and keep smiling.